What's going on, everybody? Spaceballs here. Welcome back to another Skylanders video. Alright, everyone. Today I want to talk about the best starting heroes. Now, I know when the game first came out, I made a reroll video, but now that I've been playing for a month, I'm really able to grasp the game as a free-to-play player, and even a pay-to-win player, but I've learned so much so far playing the game. So today I want to go over some of the best starting heroes, or some of the heroes I think are the best starting heroes. And of course, you guys know I stream every single day, so I'm always talking to the community. This is not just my opinion. This is not me just saying this stuff. This is me actually, playing the game every day, streaming it every day, and talking to people about these things. So I came up with the 5 best starting heroes. So I want to go over them today. I'm not going to go over their skills and everything, but I want to briefly talk about them and talk about why they'd be a good pick for you as a new player or a free-to-play player. So let's just get right on into it here. So let's pull up the Skylanders here. And before I tell you my top choice here, there is honestly no wrong choice for your first pick. Because honestly, you're not really going to be worrying about a legendary when you first start the game, because they're so hard to build and they cost so much resources. So unless you're spending money, you're honestly not even going to worry about your first legendary unless it's Boom Bloom. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But honestly, I picked Spitfire and I don't really use him right now, but I am so happy to have him because when I start building my bomb team, I'm going to want Spitfire and I'm going to use him. I'm going to love him. And there's so many people that are chasing Spitfire right now for their bomb teams. I mean, even if you have Amber, Spitfire is such a great pair, especially now with the new Portal Master. Reno, being she buffs, fire attack, just makes Spitfire even that much more desirable. Now, as far as your first pick, you might not want to go with Spitfire because he's not really going to carry you, through Cyclops and Adventures as much as, Boom Bloom will, or maybe even Amber. But he's definitely not a wrong pick. Same thing with Stormblade. Again, these two units are so good late game and they're so sought after for late game that it wouldn't be wrong picking them as your first pick because then you know that you have them when you get into late game. Like me, for example, I really want Boom Bloom and now I can't pull her. So it might have been better off for me to pick her as my starter, but then I wouldn't have Spitfire. So honestly, it really doesn't matter who you pick as your first pick because there's just so many good legendaries in this game and they're all usable at different parts of the game, whether it's late game or mid game. I mean, you really can't go wrong. So I just wanted to address that, 4 weeks ago, I did say Spitfire is probably one of the best picks, and I still do think he is. Same thing with Stormblade. It's just since I'm playing the game, I just feel like Boom Bloom might be the best pick for a free-to-play player because she fits in a poison team so well, and you can actually start using her right away. Once you get her 1 or 2 super boosted, she can actually replace your Stealth Elf in your Cyclops farming or in any farming for that matter. So for this video here, I'm not going to say there's any order or this is the top pick, this is the one you should be picking. I'm just going to kind of tell you why they're good and why I think you should pick them and why they would be a good first pick because there is no right or wrong pick. I just want to make that clear here. So these will be in no order. So first up will be Boom Bloom. Now Boom Bloom fits into a poison team so well and I can't seem to pull her now. So I'm kind of mad at myself for not picking her, but I am happy that I have Spitfire. But Boom Bloom just complements a poison team so well. She copies the continuous damage. She has a really good leader skill. And early on, even as a free-to-play player, you can get her into your team pretty fast. So Boom Bloom would be a top tier pick as your first pick, or even just building your first legendary in general. Amber is another fantastic starting unit. Again, she's not going to fit into your poison team as well, but Amber probably currently is one of the best Nat 5s in the game. And late game, you will love to have your Amber, especially in arena and stuff like that. Again, she has such a good leader skill, and with the new Portal Master Reno, again, she buffs fire attack. So having her and Spitfire on the same team is just going to be super OP. I'm sure we're going to start seeing that a lot in arena soon, and with the new content coming in the future. But again, Amber is such a solid pick. Spitfire, again, such a solid pick. I don't want to take anything away from him. He actually carried me through all of normal campaign. And then I started building my C5 team and I took him out. And that was only because he really didn't complement my main poison team. But I will be going back to Spitfire really soon when I start building my bomb team. I started building Smolder Dash. And hopefully eventually I can pull Amber. And then it will be Smolder Dash, Amber, and Spitfire as my main bombers. Again, Stormblade, awesome pick as one of your first legendaries to build. He does do really good damage. He's got diminish, he's got knockdown, he's got a really good AoE, he's got evasion rate, silence, just a fantastic unit, good leader skill. Not a bad pick as your first legendary. And I don't want to keep saying as your first legendary. I want to say as your first legendary that you're going to build. Because even when you pick one of these legendaries, like I said, you're not going to build them right away. You're going to build your main team first and then kind of like add one of these in as you go, as you start getting resources to be able to build the legendary. But Stormblade wouldn't be a bad choice as your first build. Ambush, again, one of the most hard-hitting Skylanders in the game. He can solo C5 on his own, so that should say it all. But he needs a lot of work to do that. He needs to be fully super boosted. He needs really good runes. He needs his skills skilled up, and that goes for all of these legendaries. Leveling up their skills and super boosting them is a nightmare. That's why I honestly recommend just staying away from them early on and just get your main team built. And then as you move on, you'll see that you'll have some resources and you'll be able to build your first legendary. But Ambush is also a great choice because he will also help you out in PvP content. He hits like a truck, and his whole kit in general is just a really good kit to have. And I know that's 5, but I also want to go over Chain Reaction here, so we'll make it 6. But Chain Reaction, again, is another really good pick. The dude hits like a truck as well. He's an attacker. He's got a good leader skill. He boosts critical damage by 20%, so if you have a DPS team, he's really good for it. He's got Diminish on his A1, Knockdown and Diminish on his A2, and Electric Shock, so that's really good to drain the endurance, so you can land your knockdowns, especially for Merge Tower. Chain Reaction is probably one of the best Merge Tower Skylanders in the game. And honestly, I can go over every single one of these legendaries because they're all really good in their own way. I mean, some of them have certain uses, like I said, but all of these Skylanders really have uses. Like Kingpin, fantastic unit, just not a really good, starter unit, or just not a really good unit to build as your first legendary. Headrush, again, really good arena units. Drobot, I would love to get one of him because he's a cleanser. Pit Boss, I just pulled recently. Probably one of the best supports in the game. I mean, Mr. Cat is new, again, with his AoE debuff immunity, one of a kind. He is going to be so used in PvP content. I just don't think he should be your first builds. So let's kind of sum this up here. I honestly think Boom Bloom, if you're going with a poison team as your first team, she would be hands down the best first legendary for you to build. So useful, complements a poison team so well, and I'm just so upset that I don't have her myself. Amber, great damage, probably the best Nat 5 in the game. Useful everywhere, PvP content. Cyclops, great for a fire bomb team with the new Portal Master. Just a fantastic overall Skylander. She could definitely be one of your first builds. Now, Spitfire, I just don't know if he'd be your first build unless you're going with a fire bomb team. But if you get him super boosted by luck, he would not be bad to build as well. A fantastic unit, does great damage. He explodes the bombs. He complements Amber really well because Amber can go explode her bombs, then Spitfire can go and explode his bombs. So together, they really do good damage, especially with the new Portal Master. They are just going to dish out that heavy, heavy damage. Stormblade, again, fantastic AoEs. Really good A1, knockdown, diminish, good leader skill. Just a fantastic first build. And again, Ambush, highest single attack multiplier in the game. I think he's more late game, though. I honestly don't think you should be building him as your first legendary. And Chain Reaction, again, I think he is an awesome legendary. I just don't think he should be your first build. So let's leave it at Boom Bloom and Amber. They're probably the best legendaries to build first. Now, I'm not saying they're the end-all be-all, but I do think Boom Bloom and Amber would be the best choice for your starting legendary. And I'm saying even outside the reroll, I'm talking when you're playing the game for like, 3 to 6 weeks. You've done a bunch of summons, and you got a bunch of legendaries, and you're looking at your box like, what legendary should I build first? That's kind of what I'm like gearing this video towards, not necessarily the reroll, because I honestly don't think the reroll even matters, because you're not going to be building a legendary in your first 2 to 3 weeks of playing. This is after the fact, after you collect a bunch of gems and you did a bunch of summons, and you're looking at your box, and let's say, you have a bunch, you have Spitfire, you have Boom Bloom, you have Amber, you have Stormblade, and then you say to yourself, what should be my first legendary builds? And I think Boom Bloom and Amber would be at the top of that list. Unless you're already like farming C5 and, you're doing really good as far as like clearing content goes and you're looking for a PvP unit, then you can go with, your Ambush, your Spitfires, and your chain reactions, but that's totally up to you at the end of the day. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I could sit here and talk about Skylanders all day. I hope that kind of makes things clear for you guys on what you should be focusing on as far as your first legendary goes, or maybe I just confused you even more. The new giveaway video is linked down below. If you want to be a part of the random giveaway, all you have to do is sub to the channel, like, and comment on my past 10 videos. My Twitch and my Discord are linked down below. We always have a monthly giveaway going on Discord, and we always do random giveaways on Twitch as well. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. You guys know I love each and every single one of you. I will see you in the next one. Spaceballs out. Peace.